you?
I agree. No, I do agree. Like, the media's bad. Yeah, no, I don't like the media. We're gonna go over there for the toilet quickly. Yeah, that's okay. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, why do you think they done it? What is the mindset?
The media is toxic. I don't like it.
No, but they are doing for a reason, right? Now imagine if I portray you in a bad image. I must have a reason why I'm doing it, right? I cannot just willy-nilly go and say something about someone. Now imagine, should I go to this person and say bad things about him with no reason?
Yeah.
Racism?
No, not only that.
What?
Because this society wants us to be a slave of the society. And Islam will save you from that slavery that you are going to do with the society. Instead, you will be slavery to the one who's made you. So basically, our chain has been, we are chained up.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to be chained up by the society? Like, for example, if you look at the system we are in, the banking system, the political system, they made us as like a slave.
Yeah.
Because, for example, look at the way we work. They buy ourselves within 9 to 5 and all of these things. So we actually been programmed. We cannot go out of the way to talk about something else. So in a way, we become a slave. So for example, if you look at the economic system, just give you an example. I'm going to give you a contrasting example of the Quran. So if you go to, let's say you don't have money, you go to a bank and ask for a loan. What they will do, they will say, oh, no problem, we give you £2,000, but in return you will give £3,000.
Yeah.
So they are actually not helping you.
Yeah.
Then in exchange, they are getting money out of money.
Yeah.
So now look at yourself. You consider yourself a poor person. Go to a rich person, which is bank. So the bank is getting more richer and you are getting more poorer. Because by the time you are going to finish the installment, you realize that you already accumulated so much interest, you cannot get out of it. So basically, they are working like a leech, sucking the blood without realizing it. But when we come to the Islam, it goes completely opposite. Islam, we have something called zakat, which is taking from rich, giving it to the poor. Now tell me, what is better? Making rich richer or making...
That's what they're doing at the moment.
Right,
They're
exactly.
helping the rich and they're bringing down the poor.
Yeah.
Now the only model,
Sadiq Khan.
the only model,
Not Sadiq Khan, is it?
No, Sadiq Khan, dickhead.
Is it not,
Don't like
is it not
it.
Rishi?
I mean, look,
Rishi Sunak.
this is the model.
Rishi Sunak
People
is
are
correct.
part of the model, right?
Yeah.
I'm challenging the model itself. Now, did you realize how Islam is challenging? Islam is telling you to be just and fair. So that's why Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, is saying to the rich people, take from a portion of yourself and give it to the poor so that you will have a balance. Because Allah is the one who provided in first place. If you look at the modern system, which is non-religious, non-Islamic, it's completely opposite, making rich richer, poor poorer. So that will create a false society, meaning that there was someone will be high class, someone will be low class. But just think about it. We created human being. We have reasoning, we have think, we have reflection. Everything is the same. Maybe I'm brown, you're white, someone is black. But the uniqueness of the creation, that we all have this ability of reasoning, ability of think. We can think for ourselves good and bad. But the creator of in the earth, when he instructed a model, he knows what is good and what is bad for us. So whenever we define something good for us, it will be never good because we do not have the knowledge of what is good and bad. Do you see my point? So Islam, not only, I've just demonstrated one example, zakat, which is the complete, now just implement that one. Now imagine, let's gather all the rich people in the world and we get 2.5% of their excessive wealth, which is in Islam, the prescription. If we take this 2.5% and giving it to the poor people all over the world, do you think any babies will sleep hungry?
No. Yeah, no, everything's just like, I don't agree with it.
Straight away, you accepted the truth, because some people will say, I don't like to do this.
Agree with it. Everything they're saying, I don't agree.
I've been born and bred in England. I'm as English as you can get, but I will never defend England, if that makes sense.
No, I'm not saying defending that.
The government are ruining this country.
Yeah, it's the government, I say.
They're ruining this country.
Do you know why they're ruining? Because they have created an own guidance, meaning, who created you first place? Did government created you? No. So you can say either my parents created you, I would say your parents are the media in a way that created you, because before you come into the existence, they didn't know you. So therefore, they are completely unaware of your coming. So Allah, we believe that every creation, the universe, everything from God, meaning He created us in a different ways, right? So He don't just create us. He set up a guidance what we should do in this world. Otherwise, if you don't have the guidance, you will adopt your way of things, and our way will never be happier, because we actually do destruction to our own self. Do you see? So a lot of the things we think is good for us, but actually it's bad. Like, for example, someone say, I need happiness. But sometimes happiness is a false understanding. Happiness sometimes can be defined in temporary way, for time being. But if you really reflect on, did this small time pleasure, is it truth or is it really helpful? Like, for example, I want to use this example, right? Not too personal, I just want to use an example, right? That creates sometimes, a lot of them, they say they feel like happiness. But deep down we know that would be detrimental for heart, lungs and kidney, right? So therefore happiness not necessarily be true. So that's why Islam always Allah tells us that do not worship your desire as replaced to the God. So Quran not only just telling other religions are false. Quran actually telling that our desire can be our God. Meaning that our desire will define our way of life. And Allah telling us, did you create yourself to define in first place? And then we know that we didn't come. And Allah said, أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تُمْنُونَ. Did you see the ejected fluid that made you? You know that fluid that made us? We didn't see that. Allah said, you didn't see the creation of the heavens, neither the creation of yourself. So therefore, you would not challenge me what I should do. That's why Allah said, the one who will humble, he will understand the message of Islam is truth. One thing is I'm liking it, and another one is truth. Truth can be bitter, right? But as a sincere brother in Islam, I wouldn't say, okay, you have to straight away leave the alcohol to become a Muslim. This is something you can develop and take time, but the bigger salvation is when submit and surrender to Allah. Imagine, I'll give you a scenario. Do you love your mother? Now, if there is a scenario comes that you have to quit a bad habit just to survive, just to make sure she survives, will you do that? Now just think about the grand scale. For all our salvation, Allah has given us so many things, and Allah has tell us to forbid one thing. There are a lot of juices. But then again, we have to, when there is something called truth and one thing experience, someone can say, look, I find all the religion are good. And I don't disagree, because generally, the religious group, you have good people and bad people. But it does not necessarily mean that all of the faith are correct. Because one group is saying God is not like a man, another group saying God is a man. Which group are correct? They can't be correct at the same time, because contradictory. So therefore we say the foundation has to be correct. But do you believe God is man?
Right, I'm going to give you my opinion.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah, sure.
The same as you.
Sure.
I agree with everyone's opinion. However, I don't believe in God, and I don't feel the need to believe in God. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
However, I can respect everyone else
Sure.
that's religious. I respect it, and I like to understand it. However, that's not my thing. I like to understand it. Not my thing.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, do you agree that in humanity we should exchange our views so that you can think of it? It's just like think about a blind spot. Why do we imagine you are a good driver?
Yeah.
But why you still have a looking glass?
Yeah. I get that. I don't want you to think to convert me to anything.
No. Look.
I agree.
My duty.
I'm happy agreeing with what you agree with, and I'm happy explaining it. But I don't need someone asking me anything else. Like
I'm totally respectful, sister.
No, I mean,
I'm totally. No, totally. Totally.
I agree.
Totally. I'm gonna leave you in 3 points for you to think.
Yeah.
I'm not here to convert anyone. I'm here to convey.
I don't need to be
Sure.
me, but I'm happy listening.
Yeah. Imagine if someone offers you something good, reasonable, you accept it. If it is not reasonable, you reject it, based on the consequence and the reward it has. Allah posed few questions in the Quran. Allah said, "Am khuliqu min ghayri shay'in am humul khaliqun?" Where where they created by nothing, or are they the creator of themselves? Imagine someone who is rejecting God. Now let's say we have a rejection, someone is rejecting God. Now we need to prove that how our existence can make sense. Either this existence of the reality that we have in the universe and us, everything else within that, either it come from nothing, that's the first option, or we are created by ourselves, meaning I give birth to myself. What's your take? Do we come from nothing?
I don't know. First of all, I'm going to stop you there. I happily agree with it,
Yeah.
but I'd rather not. That's just my opinion.
Sure. No, I respect your opinion.
Thank you for talking
No,
about
sure. I hope, because look,
I've taken something from it.
sure,
No.
I believe I'm respectful, but if I'm hurt anyway, please forgive me. But the whole point was that, look, if the truth comes to you in a manner, what is our response should be? Should we accept it? Should we reject it? Or should we, I don't care? So we have three options. Anything in our life. But this belief comes with a consequence, as Allah telling us deliberately. Now, if the things doesn't make sense, we have to challenge it. So, are we happy to take challenges? Like, for example, okay, I don't accept it, let me take a challenge. Just like we do challenge in everything. Quran, Islam is not like, we limited ourselves. In church they would say, you can't question about God. We are opposite. We actually say that go and ask question. We do not limit people to question. This is a religion of intellect as well. So when you learn this argument from the Islam, it actually really stimulating. The Quran, the verses actually mean sign, S-I-G-N, sign, means it will reflect, and if you ponder it, you will find a deeper meaning which makes sense. So you won't say something is illogical. You would say, oh my goodness, how on earth 1400 years books talking so logically. So like I'm sure you read many books, right? Yes. It's worth give a try to the Quran. Whether you accept it or reject it, look after yourself.
You've got somewhere to be. Thank
But
you.
it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so
Look
much.
after yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Out of respect.
I'll shake your hand.
Out of respect. Out of respect. No, out of respect.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because women in Islam are protected.
Okay.
We are only allowed to shake with someone I can relate it to. This is how Allah.
Okay. Cool.
No,
That's fine.
look. This is the respect. Because can I shake a hand with Queen?
Yeah. No.
Can I? Why? Because she's too respected. So
Okay.
same way, our mother, our sister are too protected.
Yeah. Okay.
In respectful term, not too belittling
All
over
right,
it.
I get
Look
it.
after yourself.
Thank you.
Look after yourself.
Thank you.
You.
You too.
Thank you.
Why do you think this there's going to be something from nothing?
Yeah, they're
Till a normal works, we have no certainty.